Oh, hold on, man. This game is goated, bro. You learn as you go. Like, since there's no like actual training mode, you're learning as you're going. And right now I was learning as I was going. This guy was insane right now. Like, we were actually figuring him out with command throws and throwing and blocks and punishes. Man, that was awesome. Marvel Tokon beta officially ended early this morning, and I'm already having withdrawals, so I'm a little sad about it. I was having a good time. It is a very, very entry-level easy game, but with a high skill ceiling. So with auto combos and all that stuff, like, you can do all these auto combos, but then you can also go back to your classic variations of motion, and then you're just figuring out your tech and everything like that. It is kind of, so the thing is with Marvel Tokon is that it's a game where they're kind of in a nuance of, I don't know if they want to cater to complete mainstream, or they want to kind of tone it down and just be straight FGC, like real grimy, kind of like the way Fighters was. Because when you have a game like Fighters and you have a game like Marvel, you know, Dragon Ball, and those are like big time IPs that we can really get a mainstream audience. I feel in Fighters, it was still too grimy for like your mainstream audience to really hang into, like to really like keep them around. Because what naturally happens with fighting games, that people get fighting games and eventually like the numbers die down, right? Because that's when you leave us, the giga sweats who play these types of games. And so yeah, the Tokon beta, this closed beta at least, was very fun. I loved it. You know, it's really promoted as like that type of 4v4, but in reality, you could just play as one character and just utilize the assist all the time. You don't have to learn all the characters overnight, at least from what they're portraying right now. And also, you have auto combos and all that stuff, kind of like what I just mentioned earlier. And it's kind of weird because they are split in a decision right now where, kind of going back to what I was just saying, that I don't know if they want to, it's like what Helldivers 2 says, you know, you don't want to make a game that's made for everybody, because then it eventually becomes for nobody, right? Like, it's, you can't do everything for everybody, then you won't have any type of audience. So I think they are having this modern feel, which like Street Fighter 6 is done, and now like Tekken 8 special style, and a lot of games moving forward are going to be utilizing these types of styles, which is, I'm just going to call them modern controls, the easy simplistic overview of just doing combos, right? Just mashing stuff. Good for beginners. And then you have your higher skill ceilings, which is learns a lot of text with assist. If you played Mortal Kombat 1, you know that you kind of know the idea of assist, like the way that they're using assist here for sure, especially, which is you can throw out maybe an unsafe move and use an assist and make your move safe. And I did that tons of times in this beta, because a lot of that I had from Mortal Kombat knowledge. And I think a lot of Mortal Kombat players, at least Mortal Kombat 1 players, are going to really love this game, because it's basically a fluid variation and a way better game than Mortal Kombat 1 is. So you could utilize that same idea, at least when you're bringing it into this platform, Marvel Tokon. Again, it's not a fully fledged 4v4 tag. You're kind of just using the assist, and you have the option to actually use a character if you want. And you just got to hold down the assist button, and it changes into that character. It is so fun though. I think the hours were going by so fast. The sessions were really weird, so but it was going by so fast, and I was enjoying myself so much, because everything, I was learning characters on the fly, so I didn't really have like the best like insights to everything. But my favorite in the beta for sure were Star-Lord and Iron Man. Those are my favorite ones. And Cap is somebody I think where if you want to get up close and personal in Marvel Tokon, I believe you like him. Dr. Doom's cool. Requires a lot more of a strategic approach. You know, I think that's going to be fun. I didn't get to use Storm that much. I didn't have enough time. I had to go to like work, and I had a lot of stuff to do, man. I had family obligations, work, kind of like life. So I'm just kind of telling you all the characters that I like, which was Star-Lord, Iron Man. I used Captain America because you got to use him a lot in the tutorial. And yeah, I used Miss Marvel too. Pretty cool, Miss Marvel. I feel like she's not as heavy duty flashy, but more of a great assist option. I used Miss Marvel a lot for my assist options, and she was really getting me out of a lot of tight situations, which I said earlier, where I felt like I was doing things that were kind of unsafe to bait my opponent, and then Miss Marvel helped with her assist to make me a little bit more safe, which is a lot of ideas what I utilized for Mortal Kombat 1. Very fun game. It was sweaty. I like that we got all types of players. I got like my sweaty beta rank you know, continuum type of aspects. What always happens in a beta, right? You get your sweat lords, and then you also get people that are just completely brand new to fighting games, so they have no clue what they're doing. Those are the people I really love to like type with in chat to like encourage them, because fighting games can be very discouraging if you play people like at my level and onward. You know, and I'm not saying that it's not like I'm the best in the world, but I'm somebody who's gotten like Elder God and Mortal Kombat, Tekken King and Tekken. That's higher than an average or any type of casual, super casual, by the way. I'm still casual. I'm just a casual, like with Justin Wong, casual try hard, you know, because like I like how he says that, a casual try hard. I'm the competitive casual. I'm not like a high turning level, but I'm also not like your mainstream casual, your super duper casual. So it's a very awesome game. It is not to be compared to Marvel vs. Capcom, in my opinion. It's your typical Arc System type game where like it's like a bunch of the hybrid formats of Arc System games in the past, and they just fuse into this game, in my opinion. The artwork, the delivery, even the battle hub, right? How you actually get into a game. So I thought that was pretty cool also. A lot of things, if you play Arc System games, you're going to be very familiar with this game up front, like very, very fast. It literally lets you know like, yep, this is Arc System game. So I really appreciate that the familiarity is there. So if you already kind of played their games, you know it's like its own variation of a legacy. This is like Fighters Part 2 in a weird way. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff where I feel that it's going to keep players hooked for a very long time. Again, you can get in here and mash. I was mashing for a long time just trying to figure out this game. But what I did have the experience on, again, was the assist format. The assist format is going to drive away a lot of people, because that is kind of like what happened with Mortal Kombat in my idea. Mortal Kombat 1 really didn't have its numbers. One, because, I mean, it wasn't a fully fledged game, in my opinion. It felt rushed. But also the assist, the cameos, and their I guess vocabulary, their cameo system, which is assist like this. It was very difficult to kind of impose your whole game plan around having the right assist type of caliber. Where in this game, you can kind of go without even trying to use the assist. That's a bad play to do, but you can keep trying to play thanks to the auto combos, right? So Tokon is very fun if you accept its identity for what it is, in my opinion. At least this is just the beta, right? This is just first impression. This is just like everything that we played. It was so fun. I had a lot of fun with Iron Man. I think Iron Man is great. So I can play, you know, you can play full projectile, full screen. You can get in there and get some assists going. You can actually, you know, put some pressure if you want. You can bait your opponents a lot. But Star-Lord is very in your face. Well, Star-Lord is very in your face, and he can do the same thing, kind of like what Iron Man's doing also, and with more damage and more fluidity in the combos, and way more, there's broken essentials what Star-Lord has, at least right now. And yeah, so that's why those two are my favorite, because if you like Captain America, I would just play Star-Lord, because Star-Lord can do a lot what Captain America does, but he also has way more of like mechanics that you can use, projectiles. He has like these freeze components. It reminds me of like I'm playing Sub-Zero and stuff, and kind of reminds me of a little bit of like a Deadpool. It just a lot of great stuff, a great arsenal. I think the great overall tool and moveset and flowchart would be Star-Lord. I love Iron Man though, because he kind of is more of a strategic player. So I thought Iron Man was really fun to use, man. And just the designs in this game are so fresh. I think the designs are really inviting for people. It looks cool. It looks like their own like I don't know. It's very original, very unique, but still very like to the true core fan bases of what they would want in Marvel, right? Just like what Dragon Ball Fighters was. They looked exactly like what we wanted, right? That's how these characters are. This still is very true to like their lore and to the like to the source material, I would say, but in their own unique definition. I don't know if they're gonna offer like an English version. I did like the cadences though of what they have right now. It was still cool because it feels foreign, it feels international, but it still feels like you're playing a fun video game at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you want to have a game that's very fun, inviting, artwork is great, and allow super duper casuals, not fighting game casuals, but super duper casuals to be able to mash to at least keep them kind of like what Call of Duty does, right? Call of Duty has aim assist and matchmaking to keep super duper casuals on their game, and then you can kind of have your higher skill gaps later and your skill ceilings later. Same with like Street Fighter with modern controls now. Same with like a lot of games where they're bringing in players to at least keep it inviting for a new player, but then later on like have that huge range of a skill gap, skill ceiling where you can do motion controls and stuff like that. So I love it. I love fighting games in general going the modern route, because I want fighting games to go mainstream, but there also has to be a nuance of staying culturally induced, because fighting game has a really passionate culture, and you don't want to go against that, because fighting games are always one of the strictest genres to get into and the niche genres to get into. Although it's been growing at a higher rate, you still want to be able to like stay true to that real like source of it, you know what I mean? So I like it. I like modern. Again, I know a lot of people are going to be arguing about modern. I know people don't like modern a lot, or they should be a lot more I guess switch offs, right? Like trade offs for using modern, like less damage, or maybe frames a little bit slower or something. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to actually work. Essentially, I think they're going to go back and try to work on that stuff also. I think characters, hopefully, I don't know how much roster characters we're going to look into. I hope there's a lot of roster characters. This is just my first impression. I'm just kind of like yapping about my experience with the beta, which was super fun, by the way. A lot of things that were fun. It didn't seem too repetitive. The time did go fast when I was like playing these sessions. So that was very cool. And there's a lot of fun, cheap stuff already, but there's also a lot of fun, tactical, strategic things, and the characters' uniqueness and their identities, and the auto combos help you just kind of understand like how their flowchart will maybe work or how they feel. Then you can do whatever you want. Learn as you go type of situation for everybody. There was no training mode. There was no nothing. You just went in there. There was a forced practice or AI mode, like where you face CPU, and then they went straight into just like lobbies. When they went straight into lobbies, I could feel like how sweaty it got eventually. I think people were just going around and around and around and around. But man, this game is so fun, man. Like, I genuinely enjoyed this game. I really do have my PS5 because I wanted to play this game. And I was always more of an Xbox player and a PC player, but I know I got my PS5 in recent times because I wanted to play this game. There's other couple of games in the near future I want to use for performance mode and be able to play on the fighting game, be able to play on the tournaments also. So I'm excited for that. This is going to be a great game at all levels, and great for if you have a community or if you have friends. Like, it's going to be so fun. I wonder what they're going to do with modes later. Like, are they going to make it like 2v2s, or it could be a fully fledged tag, or like what they're doing? I know it's going to confuse a lot of people because they're going to want to compare it to Marvel vs. Capcom, but it's definitely not. It's an Arc system. Stays true to what Arc system always does. So if you're familiar with their games, this is a no shocker. It's like, oh yeah, we know exactly what this is. So yeah, it's cool. I love it. I love it for what it is. I'll never compare it to anything, at least for what it is right now. I can't wait for another run at it because it is super. It's stupid fun. Like, stupid fun. It is sweaty. I was raging. I was like excited. I was laughing. I was doing everything, and it's well deserved. This game is well deserved, man. But yeah, y'all let me know what's up. Y'all get into the beta if you didn't. I think there might be probably another one. I'm gonna assume. I think they're gonna do another one, I would say, because it was kind of rough how they rolled this one out. And then we gotta wait till 2026. I'm already having withdrawals. I want to play this game. It's super fun, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one, man. Peace.